So one of my plays for next week would be to buy put options on Zoom Communications, and in my opinion, this stock is very overextended and it's pretty overhyped. It currently has a PE ratio of over 1,800 and a forward PE ratio of over 270. And this really does not make a lot of sense to me because the forward PE ratio is pretty much saying that even taking account into future earnings, it would still take over 270 years just to make back the money that you invested today. I don't think that's really a good price because even when compared to other very strong growth stocks, let's say AMD only has a 4 PE ratio of 35 compared to 270 of Zoom. That's about 15%, which does not make sense to me at all. And not to mention that Facebook is now trying to enter the video conference space and they're competing with Zoom. And speaking of that, right after Facebook's news release last Friday, there was a huge rejection upon this trend line. And and I do think, and I hope that this would continue to drop because I do want to buy some put options so I can bank on this. And I do think that I have a pretty good chance here. I'm just gonna see if the options are good, cheap enough, and if not, I'm probably just gonna try to short the stock instead. And speaking of the other play that I want to make this week would be on Google, but this time I'm gonna take it to the long side. I actually currently have a call option already. As you can see, I currently have a May 15 call for Google with a strike price of $1,410. And the reason for this play is because, first of all, I want to play their earnings. And second is because I think that Google has not experienced the same kind of boom that Zoom and stocks such as Amazon received since the pandemic. Because if you think about it, Google has a very strong balance sheet and it is actually pretty much a internet business like Zoom and Amazon. It offers good products such as Google Hangouts and the Google Suite. It's pretty much essential for a lot of businesses. And in fact, the firm that I currently work in uses the Google Suite as well. And we use Google Hangout for meetings instead of Zoom. And I do think that there's a good chance for it to go up. And the reason why I bought it last Friday specifically is because there was news saying that Google would be slashing their marketing budget for the upcoming year. But I personally think that that slash should have already been reflected in this huge drop here, and because that's what it's all about here, right? Stocks are expected to decrease in value because of the weakening in businesses. So I think that might have been an overreaction. So when the stock dropped a little bit last Friday, I took the chance and bought some calls.